Hello there. Welcome back to the Professional Creative Podcast. I'm Bonnie. Today we're talking about portfolios. Do you have a portfolio? I remember before I had one that I overthought it. I didn't know what it was. I wasn't sure what to put in it. It felt overwhelming. I wanted it to be beautiful. And so I've learned a lot. I've made tons of different types of portfolios. And I think that they are such a creative way to be able to bring all of your work into one place in a presentation. So go with me here. Imagine that you have created this beautiful collection of patterns, this time to showcase your talent, your creativity through a gorgeous portfolio. Where do you begin? How do you create a compelling portfolio? That's what we're going to cover in this episode. I'm going to be walking you through 4 simple steps to creating a strong portfolio that highlights your skills as a surface designer and serves as a powerful tool for attracting the perfect dream licensors and clients. Are you ready to begin?
I'm Bonnie Christine, and this is where all things creativity, design, business, and marketing unite. I'm a mama living in a tiny town tucked right inside the Smoky Mountains, running a multi-7-figure business, doing the most creative and impactful work of my life. But when I first set out to become an entrepreneur, I was struggling to make ends meet and wrestling with how to accomplish my biggest dream of becoming a fabric designer. Fast forward to today, I'm not only licensing my artwork all over the world, but also teaching others how to design their creative life and experience the same success. I'm here to help you spend your life doing something that lights you up. I'll help you build a creative business that also creates an impact, changes people's lives, gives you all of the freedom you want, and is wildly profitable. Welcome to the Professional Creative Podcast.
Well, beginning is the hardest part. It's easy to get overwhelmed when building a portfolio. I do actually every time I go to refresh mine because it feels like a big project. And as creatives, we just get kind of caught up in the weeds. We also want it to look a certain way. And anytime we're really opinionated about the output, right, it can feel bigger and bigger to approach. So that's what I'm going to help you with today, because not doing your portfolio won't get you to where you want to go. Our doubts can also delay our dreams. If you're feeling like my work isn't good enough, I'm not ready to build a portfolio. Do I even have enough work to start? We get an idea in our head that our portfolio should be perfect. And the more solidified this idea becomes, the more our progress fades, the bigger and bigger it feels like to come to and make progress on. So as a creative, we need simple next steps to follow that kind of just break this big thing down, especially when it comes to working on big projects. So at the end of this episode, I am going to share a free resource with you that outlines how to fine-tune and pitch your portfolio. It's called Start Simple in Surface Pattern Design. Now, I have a special invitation to a free workshop I'm hosting as well. So excited about it. But first, let's build your portfolio. So let's imagine that you have just become a licensed designer. Your dream company reviewed your portfolio and they want your beautiful patterns on their products. Maybe this company is a luxurious wallpaper brand that you've admired for years. Or maybe it's a boutique shop that sells stunning stationery. Or perhaps your patterns will be displayed on the runway next year in a high fashion show. You shared your portfolio, a reflection of your work, and it attracted your dream client. I will never forget the day that I walked into a booth shaking in my nerves of my favorite fabric company at International Quilt Market in 2012. I was terrified and I slid my portfolio across the table to the art director. And I was so incredibly proud of it. Looking back on it now, it was so full of imperfections and works in progress, but I was so incredibly proud of it at the time. I was new to surface pattern design, had no idea how to build a portfolio or really what a professional one should look like. I created it anyways. I poured everything that I had into making this book feel the most beautiful book someone would ever hold. And that day changed everything. The art director began flipping through the pages silently. And so I was sitting there just full of nerves and feeling like overwhelmed by what I was even doing there. And slowly she began to describe my work back to me using the words that I had only hoped it would leave that impression on someone, right? And I thought, she gets it. And she closed the last page of my portfolio, slid it back across the table to me and said, if you would cancel the rest of your appointments, we would love to have you as our next designer. And that moment changed everything. I burst into tears. I ran to call my mom. I had my biggest dream come true all in a single moment. And it hadn't been too long before that it had felt so far away, that it had felt like a lofty dream that was potentially too big for me to have any business even considering. And it came true. It became my reality. And I often say that that moment changed everything for me, but it changed how I believe. I believe in really big dreams coming true through consistency and effort. And it didn't just change what I believe to be true about me and what's possible for me, but also what's possible for you. I believe that big dreams can come true for any of us who are willing to put in the work. I would have never had this opportunity if I hadn't have taken the first step of creating the portfolio. So that's why I'm here to help you create yours. As you begin thinking about your portfolio, there are 3 questions that I want you to consider. Number 1, who is it for? I want you to think about the kind of companies that you want to work with and the types of projects that you hope to attract. Your portfolio should be a reflection of that. That's going to help you kind of just keep the end viewer in mind. You don't necessarily need to have a specific company and a specific name, but in general, who is your ideal client? This could be a art director, a professor, an agent, a publisher, depending on what kind of portfolio you're putting together. You just want to think about who is going to be holding it and keep them in mind as you create the book, as you create the portfolio, whether it's digital or physical. You want to have them in mind so that you build something that will resonate with your ideal client. Number 2 is, what kind of work do I want to do more of? Now, this is true for all of us. And oftentimes, if we create something, it is personal and it feels like it's our baby, right? And so it is something that we feel compelled to include because we poured our heart, mind, soul, and time into it, right? So I should include it. It's available. It's work that I did. But a sign of a more mature artist is one who can edit, one who can self-edit. And your portfolio is the place to edit. It's the place where you want to show your best work, the work that you're really proud of, and maybe most importantly, the type of work that you want to do more of. Meaning, don't put anything in your portfolio that you feel uninspired by, or maybe it's something that you were doing 5 years ago and you don't really want to do more work like that, because your portfolio will attract more work that's in the same breath, right? And so you want to make sure that it's representative of the type of work that you want to do moving forward. There's also something really visually compelling about a portfolio that you can tell someone has edited. Someone has really been able to only include the things that are beautiful. Number 3 is, does my portfolio tell a story? I think that Telling a story through your work will help your signature style kind of shine through. And so as you create your portfolio, consider if anything feels out of place. Does it not stay true to the story that you're telling? Does it not fit with your signature style? And pull the reader or the viewer through a narrative. Whether you actually have words in your portfolio or not, you want it to feel like an experience, like they're coming in and experiencing your world for the moment that they have while they're viewing it. So pull them in, tell the story visually or with words or with both, and make it more of an experience than just a static thing, right? Now, next, you've got to figure out the format. Do you want to present your work in a book, in a PDF, on a website? Maybe you want to use your Instagram feed as your portfolio. There's so many different types of ways to present your work, and there's no right or wrong way. So when it comes to your portfolio format, just know that possibilities are endless. You could be looking at handmade books, websites, online portfolios, inspiration boards, collections. You can fill your pages with images or painted pages or actual sketches or illustrations or found bits of inspiration. You know, sometimes I like to think about it as sophisticated scrapbooking almost, because I can actually attach part of my process as well. So if I'm making a physical book, right? One portfolio I made, I attached an envelope to it, and inside the envelope was one of my original sketches that went into the collection. I think even if it's digital, right, showing your process, showing you, the artist behind the process, showing maybe your workstation or some of your works in process, or maybe some of your, your sketches, is part of the story. It's part of what makes it compelling, and it pulls people in. So don't jump straight to the finished image or illustration or pattern. Think about what are the bits and pieces along the way that you can use and share to tell the story.
If you're an artist or designer dreaming of seeing your work on products in the real world, like fabric and wallpaper and greeting cards, but maybe you're struggling to break into the world of licensing, listen up. The art licensing industry can feel like almost an exclusive club with gatekeepers and confusing entry points, but I've found a way to simplify everything. Imagine pouring your heart into your art only to see it gather dust. That is not what we want. Maybe you've tried posting on social media, setting up an online store, sending out emails, but it feels like shouting into the void. The art world is confusing, and breaking into licensing isn't just about talent. It's also about finding the right partners that are the right fit. Now, I've been in the same boat. I've spent tireless hours researching, compiling lists, learning how to approach companies. Then one day I had tremendous success. So after so much trial and error, I signed my first licensing deal, then another and another. Today, my artwork is licensed all over the world, and I want to help you achieve the same success. So I've taken what I consider the most difficult part, and well, I've done it for you. I've poured over a decade of experience in developing the Ultimate Licensing Handbook. This is a curated list of over 400 companies across 17 plus industries, so you don't have to. This handbook is so much more than a list. It's a comprehensive resource that is going to help you eliminate the guesswork. It includes pitch templates that get results and step-by-step guidance on how to approach companies. If you've tried compiling this information on your own, you know how time-consuming it is. It would take months. In fact, we've estimated that this handbook will save you over 463 hours of work, and it gives you direct access to the companies that can take your career to the next level. So, are you ready to take the next step? Visit bonniechristine.com/handbook to get your copy of the Ultimate Licensing Handbook and get instant access to all of these resources that we've poured so much into so that you don't have to. Remember, there's room for you, and I'd love to help you get started.
Step number 2 to creating a compelling portfolio is to organize your work into collections. Now, collections are typically where you put 8 to 10 pieces of prints together that really complement each other. They are a part of the same collection. They share a color palette and they typically are on a similar theme or tell the same story. And so surface pattern designers typically work in collections. For me, a collection usually has 10 prints in it, and they're offered in 2 different colorways. And so I'll take a completely different color palette and apply it to the same collection. So it's offered twice. Now, there are also mini collections, which are more like 4 to 6 prints that are based on a common theme as well. You can also pull out placement prints. So placement prints are not repeating patterns. They're like single illustrations that are available for licensing, and you can pull those out and put them in your portfolio as well. So when I think about a collection, I like to think about really showing your ability as a designer. What are you capable of? And also, what is your signature style? And in order to do that, I think you probably need at least 3 collections in a portfolio. That way, an art director or someone looking at it can see what you're capable of, and they can also see your style represented across different collections. Meaning, if they only see one collection, they're not confident of what you're going to do next, right? But if they see 3 and they can see your hand and your style through all 3, but also see that you're able to represent different approaches to each collection while also keeping true to kind of your signature style, that is really compelling. It makes a really strong portfolio. And so what you want to do is show your abilities and also let them know what they can expect from you if they were to say yes. If you have 3 collections and they are all 3 wildly different from each other, meaning you can't tell that the same artist did all 3, that art director, they may choose to license 1 or 2, but they'll be less likely to bring you on as a long-term designer because, quite frankly, they're not sure what you're going to do next. See what I mean? Step number 3 is to get organized and curate your portfolio. Now, you might prefer a simple portfolio that really only features your artwork, or you might be really interested in doing something more complex. You know, I've seen portfolios that have a table of contents and an about page and a contact page and product mockups, and it tells a story in the words itself as well. There's no wrong way to do a portfolio. You just have to decide what is your approach. Either style is perfectly fine. The important piece is considering what is the best way to present your work for someone who wants to look at it. So as you determine how to organize, just remember that you want to create this cohesive experience for the viewer and arrange your work in a way that pulls them into your story and highlights the journey. Now it's time, step 4, to polish your portfolio and get it ready to show off. Your goal is to present something that's inviting. So make sure to ask yourself these questions. Who is it for? Does it represent work that I want to do more of? And does everything flow cohesively as one story or one experience? Now, I've recorded another episode that might be helpful for you as you polish your portfolio, and that is how to critique your own work, the 10-minute portfolio review. So I'll link that in the show notes today so that you can give it a quick listen as well. Once your portfolio is ready, it's time to celebrate. You are ready to show it to the world. You're ready to start pitching, and you've really accomplished one of the major milestones. Now, some of you might be thinking, I don't think my portfolio is good enough. If that question popped into your mind just now, you're not alone. I think we all think that. You know, in 2012, I was about to share my portfolio for the very first time. And the idea of putting my work out into the world was terrifying. And I also knew it was essential, meaning if I don't show it, nobody's going to see it. But I had all of these thoughts, right? Like, who was I to even think that I could do this? And what are people going to say about it? And what if no one liked it? And what if I was completely out of my league? And what if it wasn't good enough? It felt like I was exposed and I was vulnerable, but I did it anyways. And I walked away with my first licensing deal. Now, that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been brave enough to create the portfolio and show up and share it. So your portfolio, it doesn't have to be perfect to be impactful. In fact, I wish I could show you mine because you literally would not believe that it got me my first licensing deal. The purpose of your portfolio is just to tell your story and invite people into your vision and build connections and let them see what you're capable of. And so it needs to be seen. Your work is valuable. And by sharing it, you're opening up the door to so many new possibilities. One of the biggest hurdles to sharing your work is the fear that it's not ready yet. But your portfolio will, quite frankly, never be ready. It will never be perfect. It will never be finished. And it's not meant to be. Your portfolio is a living document. So you're going to refresh it with new work as you have it, and you're going to remove old pieces that no longer represent your style. And when you think of a new part of your story, you're going to go at it. So your work is a reflection of just where you are right now. And that is worth sharing. So focus on progress. Forget about perfection. It's not even possible. And trust that your work will continue to grow just as you grow. Building a portfolio is simple, but not easy. And I know that. So I want you to find a format that you feel like fits your process, gather your best work, and organize it thoughtfully and polish it. The real challenge is having the courage to curate your work and just get it seen. Now, remember to keep in mind who your portfolio is for, why you're excited to share the patterns inside, and the powerful story that you want to tell. Sharing it is one of the most important milestones in your whole journey. It's going to be what helps bring your creative dream to life, and the world needs to see it. When you compile and share your work, you're going to open the door for others to see your gifts. And that's where growth happens for you and for those who experience your designs. Now, to make this easier, you're going to want to download my Start Simple and Surface Pattern Design PDF guide. This guide is going to fine-tune your portfolio and help you pitch it. And it's completely free. So head on over to professionalcreative.com to download that guide right now. And if you're ready to create income from your art, see your designs on real products, and have the freedom to work from anywhere, all while doing what you love, I have a special invitation for you. I want to invite you to my new free workshop called Your Pattern Design Playbook. It's starting on February 10th, and this is where I'll be sharing 7 surprising secrets to saving time and accelerating your success in pattern design. It's free and it's live, so it's happening the 10th through the 19th. And I'm going to grab you by the hand and just guide you through a very clear and actionable plan to achieve your dream career in surface pattern design. I'll give you the tools and the strategies that you need to avoid common pitfalls and focus on high impact actions. Now, you're going to walk away understanding the possibilities that are presented to you in pattern design. You're going to walk away with your first collection mapped out. Yes, you are. You're going to walk away with a customized, personalized map to success. This is probably the biggest gift I can give you. We're going to actually map out where you are right now, where you want to go, and all of the milestones and action steps that you have to accomplish in between to get you to where you want to go. And then you're going to learn all the different ways that you can create income from your artwork. So it's incredibly impactful. It's exactly what I wish existed when I was starting out. It's filled with expert strategies, industry secrets, and it's your opportunity to just come experience the breathtaking world of surface pattern design. you're going to get tools and templates and strategies. And we did the math, and they together going to save you over 50 hours of work on your own. Now, the entire workshop is only about 5 hours. It's spaced out throughout the week. So that's a 10x return on your time, my friend. And your time is valuable. So come and join us. You don't need any experience, just the curiosity of dipping your toes into surface pattern design. If you are ready, come join us at bonniechristine.com/workshop. This is the exact playbook that you need to take your next big step in the industry of surface pattern design. I'll see you in our next live workshop, your pattern design playbook, again happening February 10th through the 19th. Until then, my friends, create the beauty that you want to see come alive in the world. And remember, there's room for you.